Hello there, you chose absolutely right tuning in to Rwanda Television tonight. A very good evening to you and thank you for joining us in today's English edition. My name as always is Sam Kalisa and most of this will be centered around the presidential and parliamentary elections scheduled July 15. And as we started off, RPF Inkotanyi presidential candidate Paul Kagame noted that while some people may not understand the country's choices and journey, the work done will gradually make them understand. Adams Akwizera starts us off tonight.
At 11 a.m., RPF presidential candidate Paul Kagame met with thousands of residents from Ngororero and neighboring districts in the Western Province at the Ngororero Stadium. It was on the third day of the presidential campaign trail. Among those residents, there were also members of the RPF-led coalition parties. Dr. Vincent Firuta, the chairman of the PST political party, noted that the achievements under his party's leadership would not have been possible without good policies of the RPF, which brought Rwanda from the hole, which is why PST decided to support Paul Kagame.
Paul Kagame, Rwanda tashoboye kubamo kubera amateka y'urwango n'amacakubiri.
Paul Kagame did not have the opportunity to live in Rwanda due to its tragic history and divisionism that was there. But he never forgot his roots. We in the PST have chosen wisely, selecting an outstanding candidate and a beloved leader who is recognized both in Rwanda and internationally.
The
RPF presidential candidate, Paul Kagame, noted that the collaboration of the RPF with other political parties is not a sign of weakness, but rather a demonstration of commitment and strength. He also retaliated those who criticized Rwandans for voting up to 100%, emphasizing that it's time for them to understand that Rwandans understands what the meaning of democracy. We do what is right for us. Some ask how is 100% possible when there is no democracy. I asked someone the other day, what about those who are governed by leaders who got 15% of the votes and were elected by 30% or 40% of the voters? How is that called democracy? Residents of Ngororero district expressed that voting for Paul Kagame is the way of showing appreciation for how he has transformed their lives over the past 30 years. Voting Kagame is the benefits of Rwandans because Kagame stopped the genocide against Tutsi. Widows were given a voice and orphans were given back their rights. Sincerely, he did good deeds for us. In the afternoon, the RPF presidential candidate proceeded his campaign trail in Muhanga district at Shogwe site, where he was joined by thousands of residents from Muhanga and neighboring districts of Ruhango and Kamonyi. Residents and RPF Inkotanyi members demonstrated that they have a great love and trust in him because what he delivered during his 7-year term. They expressed their readiness to vote for him in the upcoming elections. We can't wait for the 15th July and vote for him. Paul Kagame noted that the next 5 years will be focused on strengthening performance through continuous resilience rather than waiting for God's mercy. He reminded the residents who attended the campaign trail in Muhanga district that Rwanda, despite its small size, can thrive due to the ideas of Rwandans and their strong ethic. He emphasized that these qualities can sustain and develop them to live well regardless their age. Additionally, Rwandans were urged to cultivate a deep love for their country and for themselves. Don't wait to depend on someone who loves you. I don't know who else loves you, but don't wait for external validation or dependence. Instead, rely on yourselves. The RPF Inkotanyi presidential candidate emphasized that the development of the country is not limited to RPF members alone. He highlighted that the choice people will make revolves around continuing on the path that has already been set, built on the foundation established over the last 30 years. Adams Akwizera, RwandaTV News.
On Monday, the Democratic Green Party carried out campaign activities in Goma and Kayonza districts. The presidential candidate, Frank Habineza, assured the people who use the community health insurance Mutuelle de Santé that they will receive more services related to accessing medicines that they need if he is elected as the president. Adams Akwizera once more.
The campaign trail of the Green Party took place throughout the day, attracting attendees from various categories. They were informed about the Green Party's manifesto and introduced to the candidates who will represent the party in the upcoming presidential elections. They were explained the Green Party that is found on two pillars, which are democracy and environmental protection.
He's a
political activist, and he also fought for most of what he pledged to Rwandans. He was retaliated. But the reason why I have trust in him is that he is a man of his word. Frank Habineza, the flag bearer of the Green Party, emphasized that one of his priorities is to ensure that people have access to good health care and when they're sick can easily access medicine. If you trust us in the elections, is that whoever will be having the community healthcare insurance, we access every medicine in even private pharmacies. In fact, we are the funds in the community healthcare insurance fund is to enable everyone to access medicine and healthcare at any place. Frank Habineza also stated that he will continue practicing the assurances he made to the people until everything is implemented. He noted that the steps taken so far has been positive and impactful through advocacy, and he believes that further efforts will also reduce unemployment and create more job opportunities for people. Among other things, the Green Party advocates for appropriate taxation policies to ensure that taxes do not burden taxpayers.
Still on presidential campaigns, independent candidate running for president in the Rwandan elections, Philip Mpayimana, continued his campaign rally in the districts of Nyagatare and Gatsibo in Eastern Province, emphasizing to faster development if elected.
Whilst in Nyagatare district, independent candidate Philip Mpayimana emphasized on strengthening tourism and diplomacy. Our aim was elaborated about tourism and diplomacy, and I'm glad that things are on the right track so far. Philip Mpayimana urged Nyagatare district residents to vote him for his ambitions for Rwandans to be realized. Mpayimana's campaign managers provided to citizens with documented ambitions for them to vote while knowing the vision of this candidate. Independent candidate running for president, Philip Mpayimana, continued his campaign in Gatsibo district, Gatsibo sector. Upon knowing of his arrival, citizens came in large numbers to know his ambitions. We were happy for he came here for campaigning. If he fulfills his vision, it will be better. We saw and heard the candidate, and each of the candidates' campaigns were demonstrating his or her ambitions. Philip Mpayimana demonstrates that the third day of campaigning went well in general. We witnessed great hospitality, and we are glad that Gatsibo and Nyagatare campaigns went well. We were able to demonstrate all our ambitions and the goal we have. And the feedback was great from citizens on various topics in our rally, like supporting young girls and supporting divorced mothers. And this shows the citizens are with us in this. It is not Philip Mpayimana's first time as an independent candidate running for president, as in 2017 he also participated. Mpayimana currently affirms that he improved his ambitions after considering Rwandans' ideas and suggestions.
During its parliamentary campaigns in Rwamagana and Gatsibo districts, the Liberal Party assured the residents to support agriculture and livestock, with the areas constantly suffering droughts over the time. In the morning of Monday 24th, the Liberal Party campaigned from the Chigabiro sector in Rwamagana district. Campaign messages were centered on calling citizens to vote for PL-supported and RPF presidential candidate Paul Kagame, as well as the 54 party candidates vying for parliamentary seats.
abo dushaka amajwi rero ni ukwitabira iyi program politique ya Parti Liberal.
We want our supporters to vote for the policy of PL, for our manifesto to be achieved, and for us to continue advancing for justice and development, advancing laws and orders, as well as working in transparency. PL must achieve majority seats in the parliament so that we continue making our contribution as we have been doing over the past 30 years in different authority levels and parliament. We want the citizens of Nyagatare, Rwamagana and Gatsibo to help us push for all the programs that we are presenting to Rwandans in these campaigns.
Iyi kampanye yabereye hano muri aka karere.
Parliamentary candidates vowed to advocate and address issues in the farming and livestock sector in the eastern province at large.
Kakarere kari mu karere gakunda kuganzwa n'izuba birumvikana.
This district is among those that are mostly affected by droughts. Thus, we considered it in our manifesto. There are wetlands that need to be renovated so as to support the social welfare of citizens through advancing the agriculture sector.
Ifumbire mvaruganda ndetse n'izindi fumbire mborera n'ibindi dusanzwe dukoresha.
Citizens applauded the manifesto put forward by the party.
Tugomba guhura n'ikibazo cy'amazi cyane yo kuhira imyaka. Gasanga imyaka nk'ubu ngubu ibyo bita kurumba yararumbye.
We usually face the issue of inadequate water for irrigation, which affects our agriculture output. I heard that there is a plan to increase irrigation water access, and I highly support that. The other good thing is that PL is supporting the RPF candidate Paul Kagame. I mean all of that. Liberal Party leaders also pledged to continue advocating for affordable housing for low-income earners in the city of Kigali, citing a rehousing model in Gitega that should be replicated to address unplanned settlements. The party also emphasized the need for increased efforts in job creation, particularly by encouraging more youth to embrace technical and vocational education and training (TVET) programs. The parliamentary candidates of the RPF Inkotanyi and its led coalition of 5 parties campaigned on Monday in the districts of Rusizi, Nyamasheke and Nyagatare. The members of RPF Inkotanyi appreciated the work done by the party during the last parliamentary term, which improved their livelihoods and development. They also urged parliamentary candidates to act and advocate for their needs and concerns if elected. Adam Squizera.
In Nyamasheke, Rusizi and Nyagatare, people gathered for the campaign trail for the parliamentary candidates from the RPF Inkotanyi and its coalition from 5 parties. The members of the RPF Inkotanyi welcomed the candidates wearing symbols of their party and expressed their appreciation for the achievements of the last parliamentary term. They also conveyed their expectations for the even greater progress if the candidates are elected for another term. We have been given a voice and we are now represented in governmental institutions, as we even witnessed a significant decrease in maternal births. Roads and schools have been constructed, and a milk processing industry has been established in our district. Many positive developments have been taken place, which is why we must support the RPF Inkotanyi to continue on this path of progress. The intention of the RPF Inkotanyi and their coalition political parties is to build on the achievements and introduce new initiatives. Rutijana Maria Pelagie, the representative of the RPF presidential and parliamentary candidates, asked the members of the RPF Inkotanyi and others to vote for RPF, assuring them that they will not regret their decision. We emphasized the development of tea and coffee factories. In terms of half, the capacity of Tivogor Hospital was increased. In addition, half posts were established. Many positive changes have occurred so far. Voting for the RPF Inkotanyi means voting for the citizen-centered and sustainable development. RPF Inkotanyi and its led coalition 5 parties, which are PDC, PSR, PSP, PPC and UDPR, has fronted 80 parliamentary candidates.
Candidates to represent the city of Kigali in vying for 30% of the women parliamentary seats were urged to take care of family issues like high divorce rates and the increase in street children once they get voted. Ketia Ineza brings us the details.
The Kigali's parliament campaign started at the ULCO Stadium in Gasabo district. All the 16 candidates were given the opportunity to sharing their plans in the presence of the voting council. Some of the audience that started the campaign commended the government for advancing women in leadership, hence requesting those who will represent Kigali to take care of various issues like high divorce rates and the increase in street children.
Harimo ikibazo cy'ubuzererezi bukabije.
There's a challenge of accuracy. We leave our houses from morning to evening. We don't know our kids' daily lifestyle because they are left with the maids. They should teach parents the importance of a family. The destruction of a family affects everything, including the country. We are to raise our kids first and then pursue everything else. The money will not count if the children are not doing well. It is better to give a great life to our kids before pursuing anything else.
Reduce the number of divorce because it has a great impact on raising children and in the development of a country. The country is negatively affected with imbalanced families or no families. I think that those who be voted should help us in reducing divorce and contribute to development and technology.
The city of Kigali reminded the parliamentary candidates that even though they are voted in female category, in the presence of the parliament, they are required to establish a great legislation for the people. You cannot be part of the parliament because you're just a woman. You are to be qualified for it and maintain a great influence to Rwandans. Even though you are voted in women's category, you're not just standing for women, but also for the country. You are the parliament of the country, and you are given the requirement to implement laws for the benefit of Rwandans. In the city of Kigali and provinces, out of 80 parliamentary seats, 24 representing 30% are left for women. According to a December 2023 presidential order relating to elections of the president and deputies, the distribution of seats for 24 female MPs elected by specific organs in accordance with the national administrative entities is based on the number of population of each province and the city of Kigali.
Thank you, Ketia. Moving ahead, analysts of Rwanda's governance and politics note that the country's ability to hold 4 presidential elections smoothly in just 30 years is a testament to the people's understanding of their role in promoting good governance. A story of Olive Nete in the voice of Prince Manzi.
According to Evariste Murwanashyaka, a Rwandan closely following the country's governance and this year's elections, the political landscape has significantly opened up over the past 30 years. First, I would say that these elections are providing greater freedom in politics. There are many candidates vying for various positions this year, both for the presidency and parliamentary seats. This includes those who advanced for the campaign stage and those who, although not making it, still registered their candidacies. This demonstrates that the political landscape has opened up compared to previous times. In the past, some people would even bring unnecessary documents. This openness allows anyone interested to submit their candidacy, which is a significant change from how it used to be. Residents reiterate on the history of elections in Rwanda, particularly since 2003, when the country held elections following the transitional government. In previous elections, residents didn't have sufficient knowledge about the electoral process. Some were even afraid to approach candidates other than the president. However, now they are well informed, attend various campaigns, understand each party's goals, and choose the best leader to guide them toward the development. The number of people participating in elections has increased significantly since 2003, growing from 3 million to 9 million voters, including 2.3 million new, mostly young voters. Residents voting this year appreciate the well-organized elections and the synchronization of presidential and parliamentary elections, which saves both time and funds. The synchronized elections are well organized and people are participating in large numbers. Economically, this would be highly beneficial in various ways, as the budget previously used for separate elections will be reduced. Sheikh Ahmed Munyezamu notes that Rwandans have the opportunity to choose a government that suits them, which has significantly contributed to the country's development. Nowadays, Rwandans are proud of their country, which is a stark contrast to the past, when they wouldn't even take pictures in front of their homes due to a lack of pride in where they lived. In the past, Rwandans admired Nairobi, which was more advanced in the region. However, today, Rwandans are proud to showcase their own city. After the genocide against the Tutsi, Rwanda experienced a 9-year transitional period. Presidential elections were subsequently held in 2003, 2010, and 2017 after the constitution was revised. The upcoming elections, scheduled between July 14th to 16th, 2024, will for the first time combine the presidential and parliamentary elections.
In the Western province say they are happy about the fact that in the past 30 years, efforts to develop their sector have been paying off, with things like infrastructure and technology playing a major role in improving the livelihoods of the miners. Mining is particularly profitable in districts like Rubavu, Rutsiro, and involves people from age groups and genders. Investors also happy are happy for the fact that sector's productivity levels have increased many times over the last 3 decades, with precious minerals like coltan, cassiterite, wolfram, gold, amethyst, and lithium found in abundance. Officials in the Western province have acknowledged that mining has greatly helped districts there to develop rapidly, so much so they are even able to meet their own budget requirements with minimal assistance from the central government. Figures indicate that the Western province provides anywhere from 1 to 2,000 tons of a year of precious minerals, with the 2022-2023 fiscal year bringing in slightly more than 1.9 tons, most of that coming from Rutsiro district. And it's from this that we'll take a short pause and we'll come back with more news. That's the end of tonight's edition. On behalf of the entire news production as well as the technical team that made it happen, many thanks for being with us on today's edition. And up until next time, stay safe and we wish you the rest of the week ahead. Goodbye.